Shit music? Okay, I'm sorry it's not Selena Toki. I'll make sure to play that next time, I guess. So, I said I was going to go for 6 hours today. I started a little bit late. We'll go for a few hours, but I'm a bit tired. So, we'll see how long I can last while keeping the stream decent. Hold on one sec. So, I discovered something. I didn't really discover it the other night. A Ryan Beard video came up in my recommended, and I know people don't like him. I don't really know like what his deal is. I know he's like a lefty or whatever the fuck, and for a lot of people that's enough to not like somebody. But a Ryan Beard video came up in my recommended, and it was about Deaf Noodles. And this has to be the greatest fall off like I've ever seen. For those of you that are like unaware, Deaf Noodles he had this like show called Irrelevant News, and it was like really unfunny. He'd be like in cat ears. Um he was like, it's satire, but it was clearly him like trying to be funny. He's like, it's purposely meant to be bad. He got into some falling out with Diorio. He tried to accuse like Augie and all of them of being like white nationalists adjacent. He was like, he's what the kids today would call woke. He was like, he brought up the fact that he has like some Brazilian heritage to like play the race card. I mean, it was a big deal. I don't remember the details of it. And then he had some comedy show. This was when I was gone. He had some comedy show that was super unfunny, and then Salvo pulled up and he like pushed Salvo off stage. But I guess he wasn't getting the numbers. This was once a 500K sub YouTuber. I guess he wasn't getting the numbers he wanted or whatever, because he's now found a grift. And the views aren't great. And honestly, this is going to sound like conspiracy theory pilled. I think somebody's paying him to do this. Okay, I genuinely think someone's paying him to do this. But he's now a conservative commentator. Okay? And he's trying to get on the conservative grift. And it is one of the most forced, like, unwatchable things I think I've ever seen. And I just took a look at one of these last night, and I guess while you were gone, he was link that shit. But we'll just check this out briefly, and then we will go look at the Ryan Beard video. But hold on. I'm setting a super chat goal because we can do that now. Share how you will celebrate.
AIDS gang represent, okay?
I will be happy. There we go. We started. Oh wait, shit. We still have. Okay, somebody I guess just donated on Streamlabs too, so we can check. You guys don't need to use that link anymore, by the way. You can, but we now have super chats. Thank you so much for the $5, NYX AG4L. Thank you so much. Very based. So yeah, we'll check this out. Hold on. Wait, I accidentally just closed my fucking live stream. Turn on TTS. I'll do it next stream. I'm not gonna interrupt the whole stream to turn it on. So this is him talking about the El Salvador Trump deportations, something I'm a bit more knowledgeable about compared to other subjects. We're just gonna briefly look at this, and then we'll see the Ryan Beard video. But I wanted to check out. He doesn't start off what he's trying to do, by the way, and it's very obvious. He's trying to do a Fox News aesthetic, not like an internet commentator aesthetic. It's like Tucker Carlson. He puts like the little news graphics at news graphics at the bottom and shit. We'll check that out. I've never seen someone fall off this hard. Let's just check this out.
It's ingratitude disguised as intellectualism.
Okay?
So here's the truth. The U.S. Constitution is not sacred.
I do not have opinions on minorities. Skyhawk with the Canadian $2. Thank you.
Because it's old. It's sacred because it works. It's the reason.
Wait. He also, like, his voice sounds a little bit weird now, too.
Finest down to
AIDS
Aiden,
gang represent, okay?
you're a very boring live streamer, but since Tom and Lyric stopped, Augie's boring, Nick is fat, and Chud's old, I will watch you. You realize we literally, like, are on a platform where we're on a fucking platform where there is 20 years worth of content. You don't just have to watch somebody because they're live. If I'm boring, you could go watch 20 years worth of content.
AIDS gang represent, okay?
Okay, thank you so much for the $3. My pudding pie, hello. This will be our last monetary exchange, it seems. I'll miss you, but I know you will miss me even more. It's been a good run. Goodbye, Streamlabs Tonos. That is one of my most infamous donators, the guy that got TTS turned off. Blue Diamond with the $1. Hold on, I'm gonna need to turn off the sound. One sec.
El Salvador so they can virtue signal about an illegal immigrant who is an MS-13 member. Let's see how this is going, shall we?
Why, Congressman, are you in El Salvador? You are there for an El Salvadorian man who was a resident illegally of Maryland. You're a congressman from Florida. Why are you in El Salvador?
Well, we're here because a man who had protected status in Maryland, a Maryland man, union member, worker with a citizen wife and beautiful children, was taken out of his state and out of the United States back over here without due process.
So to put it plainly, because I know all of you aren't politics people, we, just brief summary, we're sending people, this guy happens to be from El Salvador, but some of these other people are from nations like Venezuela, where we can't deport them to. So we're taking people, the Trump administration, claiming they're criminals, not being transparent about it, and then without a trial, sending them to a prison, one of the most brutal prisons on earth in El Salvador, very likely for life, without a trial or due process.
And for us, we're here for a couple reasons. Number one is because every person in our country deserves due process. And we want to make sure...
Yo, Buddha with the 5. Every time you thank a donation, you send fruity and gay. Can you overdo it as much as you can for this one? I'm talking Dickers levels of fruity. Thanks. Love you, brother. I don't... Dude, that is so generous. Thank you so much for the $5. Super, super generous. Super generous. So fucking generous. I'm crying right now because of how generous that is.
That we draw the line here at Kilmar Garcia.
Oh boy, here we go again. Another progressive congressman chasing clout on foreign soil while his own constituents in Florida are stuck wondering what exactly they voted for. This time, it's Max Frost, who, despite being elected to represent the people of Florida, is now playing international activist in El Salvador, campaigning to bring back a man accused of being an MS-13, a designated terrorist.
Wait, so do you see what he just did there? This guy is going and advocating for this man.
AIDS gang represent.
Oh, I gotta turn off that sound. Hold on. One sec. Yo, thank you so much for the $2 cyanide, the fucking $2, can't think of a good name with the question mark. Thank you. How do I turn off this fucking sound? Hold on. It's gonna drive me insane. I'm sorry, Chud Logic. You gotta go. Where the fuck? It's not even...
AIDS gang represent, okay?
Where there's no... it's not even a source. How is the sound being made? Is it this one? Is it this one? Okay, I think we did it. Okay.
Organization by the Trump administration, because nothing says serving your district like flying halfway across the hemisphere to advocate for someone accused.
Oh wait, so what he does is he's like, look, he's flying out for this guy who's accused of being he's using the term accused as though he actually did it. He's like, why would you fly out for somebody accused of that? The reason this guy is flying out is because he wants to advocate for this person to get due process due to this accusation. That's why he's flying out. You're really flying out for someone who's accused of that? Well, yeah, he's advocating for a thing that is inherent to people who are accused of things.
Of gang affiliation, domestic violence, and
he's accused of it. He's accused of it. I accuse you of rape, Deaf Noodles. Okay, and then we'll send you to El Salvador. And when your mom gets on TV and starts crying, being like, please, please bring my son home, I'll be like, too bad, bitch. He's accused of rape. You're really crying on TV for a guy that's accused of rape? He's accused of it. Accused.
Potential human trafficking. Great priorities, Max. Let's start with the obvious. Frost isn't a congressman from Maryland, where Kelmar Abrego Garcia was living.
AIDS gang
He's
represent,
not
okay?
on the
How is it? Oh my. How is it? How is this fucking. Where is it? Where is this noise coming from? Where the fuck is this? Is it coming from here? Is it coming from here? It's gonna drive me nuts. Hold on. I can't get rid of it. I'm sorry. I appreciate all the donations. It's gonna drive me insane. Yo, thank you so much for the $3, Leslie. Hey, Aiden, this is Maria's cousin. She passed away last night peacefully. Thank you for the months of joy you brought to her in her final moments. We appreciate it. If that's real, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I can't, if that's real, like, I appreciate that, and I'm sorry for your loss. Anyways, I sometimes it's like an awkward laugh. It's not like it's not like I find that funny if that's real. It's like I like awkwardly laugh sometimes. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, and wishing you and your family the best.
Immigration Committee. He's not in foreign relations. He's not even from the same coast. When asked why he's in El Salvador, you'd expect a bulletproof explanation, right? Nope. What we get instead is a meandering mess of buzzwords. Protected status, no process, a beautiful children is the political equivalent.
No, I do care. I just don't know. I don't trust anything genuine that is ever said to me, just due to who I know, like, my audience is. And I feel like sometimes, like, it could be, like, some, like, weird troll. But, like, this was somebody who had said something about this, like, months ago. This person had come in saying they were sick and didn't have, like, a long time to live or something. So I don't know if that's real or not, but if it is real... No, dude, sorry, it's, like, awkward. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
AIDS gang represent, okay?
How do I get rid of this fucking sound, dude? Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Oh my, dude. Well, I didn't mean to. Hold on. Okay.
Of waving her hands and hoping people don't notice you're making 0 sense, which is just textbook emotional baiting. He doesn't focus on the facts. He just chants citizen wife and disabled children.
If that's real, I'm sorry. I don't, like, handle being serious very well, and I was not laughing at you. That was, like, an awkward kind of laugh. So I'm wishing the best.
And hopes everyone forgets the reason we're actually just here, forced to have this discussion. Max, if you're going to lecture us about due process, maybe start by acknowledging the actual process that played out. An immigration judge did find Abrego Garcia was likely a gang member.
Likely. He uses a lot of words that do, like, very heavy lifting. Likely, accused. All of these things may be true. This guy could be a gang-banging puppy killer, but, like, if we're going to send him to prison, and make no mistake, we are sending him to prison, even if the prison is in another country. We've made an agreement with this country to imprison him. He's entitled to a trial. Anyone we're sending to a foreign prison is entitled to a trial. And like, these are people that complain about government overreach and government transparency when it's not like to their benefit. And it's like, I can't imagine like any more extreme power to give the government than the ability to accuse people of something and then imprison them without a trial, and then people will justify them not having a trial because they're accused. Under that logic, why should anybody have a trial? Because they're going to trial because they are being accused of something.
That decision was upheld. Then he was granted protection from deportation, not citizenship, not asylum, just relief from being sent back at that time. He wasn't exonerated. He wasn't declared innocent. He was a guy.
He wasn't declared innocent. He wasn't declared innocent. That's not how court. Dennis, that's not how court works. That's not how a criminal accusation works. You don't get declared innocent. The state brings charges against you, accusing you of committing some sort of crime. And if the state can't meet its burden, then you're deemed not guilty. You're not found innocent. He didn't get a fucking trial.
With enough baggage to keep TSA busy for a week. And while we're on the topic,
I said Dennis. I said Dennis, not Denims.
Talk about that baggage. This isn't some squeaky clean, wrongfully deported family man like Frost wants us to believe. This is someone who was arrested based on...
I don't know who's paying these people, but I do genuinely, wholeheartedly believe, because the views aren't working, etc., etc., I believe someone paid for this. I believe someone is, like, paying these people off to take on this grift. I don't know who it is. I've heard theories about this, like, Peter Thiel guy. I don't want to get, like, super conspiratorial, but I genuinely, like, would not be surprised if there is somebody, like, giving him money to do this.
On gang affiliation intel from law enforcement, and a trusted informant had a temporary protection order filed against him for domestic abuse, was stopped transporting 8 people in a car under suspicion of human trafficking.
Yeah, but they never charged him with human trafficking because there was not enough evidence. Like, the state, he's just bringing up things this guy's been accused of. This guy was exempt from deportation. If you want to remove that exempt status, especially when you're sending him to face imprisonment, you are obviously you should try him.
And was flagged under Trump-era orders to deport suspected MS-13 members.
Yo, is that who I think it is? In chat? Yo. Is that Mr. Pancakes in chat? Dude. Salvo, what's up, buddy? This is the guy.
AIDS gang represent, okay?
This is the guy that pushed you off stage. This is the guy that pushed you off stage. How does it feel? He's now doing a right-wing grift to like 500 viewers with most of the comments just like shitting all over him. How does that make you feel? You won. You've been vindicated. Hold on. Wait, why is this? Wait, why is the sound going off now without any donos? Even how do I get rid of this fucking sound, dude? How do I get rid of this sound? Hold on. It's driving me nuts. Oh, been a fan since December. Sorry, my chat froze. Been a fan since December 2017. I enjoy the stream. December 2017? No fucking shot, dude. For real? You might be one of the OGs, man. You might be one of the fucking OGs. One of the longest in chat.
Not random tourists. And look, maybe someone out there believes that this is coincidence. Fine. But don't pretend this is a case of the American dream gone wrong. This is a man who entered the country illegally, was accused of gang affiliation, and somehow managed to skirt consequences until a bureaucratic slip-up got him deported. And now, thanks to Max Frost, you're paying for a congressman to run interference for him in El Salvador instead of focusing on...
Wait, where does he think... Hold on. Where does he think... You realize we're paying to send this guy there without a trial, right? And there's some people who almost certainly like weren't involved in gang activity. We paid millions of dollars to do that. We're paying for this. We're paying for that. We're paying a lot more. The thing this guy's trying to correct, we actually paid a lot more for that.
A skyrocketing rent, rising crime, or actual Floridians in need. The real kicker, Max Frost says...
Oh, and then it's like the thing they do where it's like, why are you focusing on this when there's other issues going on? Huh? What kind of stupid fucking logic is that? Like, you can only focus on one issue at once. Why are we worried about Ukraine when there's homeless dying of fentanyl transgender surgeries from illegal immigrants in prisons? It's like, hold the we can focus on several issues at once. Okay? Like, we don't have an ADHD maybe we do now, but like, we can multitask here.
He's in El Salvador to draw the line. That's hilarious.
Yo, GG's with the five Canadian AIDS gang. Thank you so much.
Because the only line Frost and his fellow Democrats who went down there with him are drawing is between themselves and reality. He's not defending due process. He's rewriting it. He's not serving the people. He's chasing headlines. And he's not protecting the vulnerable. He's wasting taxpayer money defending someone the president of
Rather greedy Donegal AG4L. Listen, man, I set the bar high.
Salvador called too dangerous to return. So here's my question.
Wait, did you also... Dude, I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out. Desktop? Where is this fucking coming? Okay, wait, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. This actually might fix it. Hold on. I think I figured out how we fix it. Alert box. Okay. Instead of removing the source, we're just gonna get rid of the sound effect because it's actually like driving me insane. All right, save settings. All right, save. Okay, I think we fixed it. Cool.
To Frost and every single one of his performers.
Thank you so much for the $2.
Of progressive Democrats who went down there with him. When did representing illegal non-citizens with criminal records become a higher priority than representing the Americans who actually elected you? Until they can answer that, maybe they should stay grounded figuratively.
Okay, you get the gist. He's like a total grifter now. And the comments, failed comedian to right-wing grifter struggling to pull in 5 likes pipeline claims its most deserving victim. Hope I take as big of a downfall as this. Quitting YouTube. Okay, so we'll check out the Ryan Beard video. He kind of summarizes this a little better, apparently.
Hey, really quickly,
You get the gist. Geez with the 5. Hippo character repeatedly points to the streamer while chanting "Get good." Oh, I was reading chat. That's a sticker. I forgot how those work. Thank you so much.
Just want to mention that I have recently revamped my Patreon. I have to ask for support on there. I wanted to make
Why is he always wearing a suit?
sure that by supporting me on
And it's always the same suit.
Patreon, you're really benefiting from it. I know it's annoying when people ask you to support their Patreon and then you don't really get anything out of it. So I'm going to be releasing exclusive monthly videos on my Patreon and for the members on this channel. So consider supporting the Patreon or becoming a member of the channel if you want to see exclusive, unfiltered videos from me, or if you want to have your name listed at the end of my videos.
I don't care.
A moderately successful drama YouTuber who wants to start a comedy career, but your YouTube drama career ends up crashing and burning because you falsely accuse another
24. Okay, I don't know what you're doing, David. It's very annoying. It's insanely annoying. It's very annoying. It's very unfunny.
YouTuber of being a pedophile. You say that you think Sneeko shouldn't be banned from YouTube even after he sexually harassed a woman, and then you lose a debate about trans people to the conservative TikToker Christian Walker, and then your comedy career crashes and burns because Moist Critical reacts to your absolutely terrible...
Yeah, so the problem is, right, Def Noodles did a comedy show where people would get on stage to roast each other. And it's like, that's a concept as old as time. Everybody does, like, people have done that before. It can work. The issue is, it wasn't like it was members of the public that could go up and participate, and he would just put random people against each other, and it's like, how do you engage in like a roast battle for an extended period of time against somebody you just met that you don't fucking know? It just like becomes like super awkward.
comedy roast, which ends up getting 4 million views. So now you've
Yo, Cyanide with the $1. Thank you so much.
failed at both YouTube drama and comedy, and now you're the laughingstock of pretty much the entire internet. If all of those things have happened to you, then you are probably Def Noodles. And you know what? I can relate to Def Noodles. I have also failed at comedy before.
Then type your number out on the screen and put
Wait.
it up in the air.
I've
Is
also
that a joke? He wasn't on. Wait, Ryan? That's not him. That's not the same guy, right? That's not the same guy. No fucking shot.
Then type your number out on the screen and put it up in the air.
He was on X Factor being judged by George Lopez. Who do we got here? We got Simon Cowell, who now like looks like a fucking melted candle because he's got so much plastic surgery. I forget her name. She's always been there. She's the one with the British accent. George fucking Lopez and Howie Mandel. Ryan Beard is canonical in the X Factor universe.
I've also lost a debate
Yo, Ashley O negative with the $5. Thank you so much.
before, and I'm sure I've also had some dumb takes at some point in my life. But the one thing I haven't done is falsely accuse Papa Gut of being a pedophile. I have only accurately accused Papa Gut of being a pedophile. That is a joke. Papa Gut is not a pedophile, as far as I know. The truth is, everyone makes mistakes in life, everyone has failures, things don't always turn out the way that you want them to, and I think that when you do fail in life, the best thing to do is take a step back, self-reflect, learn from your mistakes, and then return as a better person. Or you could say, fuck that, and return to YouTube as a right-wing MAGA grifter who makes absolutely dogshit videos that only get a couple hundred views. This is what Def Noodles
That's the thing, right? I mean, maybe he's doing this because he thinks it's gonna pay off, but his channel really. Why is my Abe Lincoln guy from last night is still on screen? Maybe he's doing this because he thinks it's gonna pay off, but the views aren't really. The views aren't really like showing like much growth, and that's why I think somebody is like paying him to do this, and I think actually a lot of like influencers, political influencers, are being paid off.
used to look like. Look at how cute and non-threatening he looks with his little catty.
Yo, G's with the $10 fucking dollars. When are we getting emotes? So that's actually what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make an emote submission channel in the Discord, and you can submit some emotes, and I think we're gonna vote on them. We'll make it a like group activity so everybody can like vote on them. Luigi T with the CHF. What currency is that? Not that I care, I'm just fascinated. I've never heard of that one before. Swiss franc. Luigi with the 5 Swiss francs. Oh, so you're Italian Swiss. Based?
Ears and his little fake glasses. Well, this is what Def Noodles looks like now. He's not soy boy Def Noodles anymore. Now he's alpha ma-
Aiden's allergic to doing any real work. I'm a full-time student, little bro. Very, very high GPA. Okay, I do a lot of work. But I don't want to do any more work than I have to. I can if I need to, but listen, man, I work to be lazy.
MAGA Def Noodles. He's got the MAGA hat and the red lighting and the American flag behind him and the eagle below him.
And he's got like the news graphics.
He has abandoned his kitty cat ways and has accepted the path of the eagle. I guess if I ever want to become a right-wing grifter, I just need to change the color of the light behind me. Soy Boy Ryan? MAGA Ryan. Soy Boy Ryan? MAGA Ryan. I know a minute ago I...
Dude, the other problem, listen, I'm kind of like leeching off of Ryan's video here, okay? And I'm sure he's going to give us a lot of information. But this guy just doesn't, he's very like not charismatic. It makes it very hard to watch. And people will be like, that's cheap coming from you. But like, I don't know, is that just me? Like, there's like just such a lack of charisma.
Called Def Noodles a right-wing grifter, but I feel like being a grifter kind of implies that you're making money from what you're doing. And right now his videos are only getting a couple hundred views each, so I would say that he's probably not even making enough money to be considered a grifter right now. I also think being a grifter implies that what you're doing isn't actually
Well, even if he's not like apparent, as I said before, even if he's not like apparent, like I think there has to be some monetary incentive to him doing this. He's reading off of a script. To be fair, he could have wrote that script himself, but I've never seen him like talk like this in any other context with like that vocabulary or whatever. It seems like he's reading something somebody else wrote for him. Like even if he's not apparently making money off his view count, I would just bet money he's making money from another source. Who is that source though? Who is that source? I don't want to claim it's Russia. I don't want to claim it's Russia, but seems like they have had a big grip on online political discourse in the last couple of years.
And I can't see inside of Def Noodle's noodle to know if what he's doing is genuine or not. But it does seem a bit suspicious to me that Def Noodles has gone from someone who preaches progressive values and has debates where he's defending trans people to being full on MAGA in just a couple years. I would say that I was kind of like a moderate,
because he didn't actually believe in the shit he was debating or saying. He did it because it appeased his audience. He did it because it appeased his audience. He was a like virtue signal. It was like a virtue signally like leftist. It was all about his outward appearance, not about like any like values inherent to himself. And like you could just, I mean, I bet you if I was to, in his like leftist arc, if I was to go and talk to him about any of this stuff, he wouldn't be able to provide me with a whole lot of reasons for why he believes what he does.
conservative when I was like 14, but then over the course of about 10 years, I became a leftist. But it was a very gradual progression.
Who's paying for sub 1,000 views, very worthless returns? Right now it is. But like when Connor came to me and told me he was going to be doing Internet Versus, I knew that the view count was going to go up, even if it wasn't like great at first. So I said to him, you know, I'll give you such and such amount of money for a certain return, because I believed that the channel would do well. It is. Unfortunately, I took too long to give it to him, so we called off the deal. Had I given it to him, I'd be probably $1,000 wealthier. So whoever it would be giving him money probably believes there will be some sort of future return.
Just don't usually see someone make...
Can't reach your goal. I set it too high. What I hate is you can't set it for like amounts. You have to set it for, when the goal's over, I'll reset it. You have to set it for like colors of donos as opposed to like specific amounts, which is like really stupid.
Making this drastic of a change this quickly. In the first video that he posted on this updated MAGA channel, he says that he's been secretly watching right-wing creators like Ben Shapiro for years now, but he was scared to tell anyone because he didn't want to get canceled.
Oh
Quietly, I began to consume more conservative media, listening to voices like Ben Shapiro, Rush Limbaugh, but I kept it
Rush Limbaugh? Who is this guy? Like, is this guy somebody's grandfather? Over the years, I was listening, like, if you want to be like a conservative grifter, if you want to say, I was listening to Jordan Peterson, but Rush Limbaugh, really? That's who you've been listening to?
myself. Living in Los Angeles, I feared being outed as someone who leaned conservative. It felt like
That's such bullshit. That's such bullshit. Like, the thing I'll say, because I've lived in Northern California and Southern California, LA actually is like way more diverse than yes, it is dominantly liberal, but like you can find a very decent amount of conservatives here, or in more so in like Orange County, which is basically LA. Like, it's not like I didn't want to be outed. I had to hide my true self.
a career killer for anyone in the acting
It's
or
people like you who shame conservatives into going into hiding their true beliefs. Good.
writing industry. Friends who noticed warned me that my career could be over if the word got out.
So I guess rather than calling him a right-wing grifter now, it might be more accurate to say that he used to be a left-wing grifter, but now he's finally being true to his MAGA self. So I
don't think he believes anything. I don't think he believes like absolutely anything.
Congratulate Def Noodles for finally coming out of the closet as a dumbass. But you know what? We don't want to approach Def Noodles in bad faith. Maybe he is giving some really insightful insightful commentary in this new MAGA persona. Let's check out one of his videos to find out. For whatever reason, Def Noodles seems to like to focus on certain celebrities and then make a bunch of videos about them. For example, he's made 10 different videos about Whoopi Goldberg. I don't think I've ever met
Because what he does is, and I'll tell you how he's picking them. He's doing the same thing fucking this is a good example. You guys want to watch like how like conservative comedians operate on like Fox News? I don't know if anybody's ever heard of like Gutfeld, but because Trump, they're like stuck in 2016, and because Trump would occasionally have like one person he would go after, like Rosie O'Donnell or something, half of their jokes revolve around like the same like 6 people that nobody's cared about since 2016. So like The View, the cast of The View, their jokes will always be like about The View and Roseanne Barr and Whoopi Goldberg, and it's like, dude, nobody even watches that show anymore. Like, move on, find a new fucking target. So he's going with what he thinks is going to appeal to like the conservative audience.
someone who cares enough about Whoopi Goldberg to make 10 different videos about her. To me, she just seems like your typical rich,
He's trying to appeal to like fucking people's grandparents. Like, that's literally what he's trying to do.
out of touch liberal, but she seems to really upset Def Noodles for whatever reason. But what I wanted to focus on in this video is that Def Noodles has made 7 different videos coming after the comedian Bill Burr, claiming that Bill Burr has gone woke. I've always considered myself a pretty big fan of Bill Burr. I've always enjoyed his comedy, but I would definitely not consider him like super left-wing or anything. He always takes shots at people on both sides of the political aisle. He even
He's like pretty apolitical from my understanding. Or his jokes are like more centrist leaning, right?
recently made fun of white people on the left for caring so much about pronouns.
You know what's funny is white liberals are the ones that gave the definition of woke to whites on the right. So they don't, no white people really understand, it seems, what that word really meant when they took it from black people. So people on the right just think it means an insufferable,
To be fair, I don't watch a lot of Bill Burr. Actually, don't watch him at all.
self-involved
I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen him be like overtly political.
liberal douche. And they're not wrong if they're talking about a white person. Right. Running around crying about their pronouns is like the sun is like lighting the planet on fire.
I would consider myself a bit of a pronoun enjoyer. I'd say I'd put pronouns right above adverbs on my favorite types of words tier list. I actually don't think that trans people usually freak out about pronouns as much as people claim they do. In general, a trans person isn't going to get upset with you unless you're purposefully using the wrong pronouns. So I might like
I mean, they don't, like, I've never seen someone, except like maybe like the occasional person like Libs of TikTok will repost for like rage bait. I've never seen someone like properly freak out over like usage of the wrong pronouns, unless maybe they like know you're doing it on purpose. But like I've had transgender acquaintances like in real life, people who I knew prior to transitioning, and of course like I didn't fucking get it right immediately, and it would just be like a subtle correction. It wouldn't be like a what did you just call me? What the fuck did you just call me? I've had this happen in my real life 5 times. Yeah, I believe it.
slightly disagree with Bill Burr on his take here, but I'm not going to freak out about it and make 7 different videos criticizing him. And I do think he brings up a good point that white people love to steal terms from black people like woke and then make them incredibly lame. This might be a bit of a hot take, but my absolute least favorite form of white people comedy is when white people put on a black accent and try to mimic a black woman and then expect everyone to clap and laugh. Girl, when the child is T but the sis is finna bust it down. Stop. You are not funny.
Whoa,
anyway, I might disagree.
Whoa, Ryan, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, Ryan? Did he just want an excuse to put on a black accent? Was Ryan just looking for like an excuse to do a black accent?
Agree with Bill Burr on some of his opinions, but I'm not gonna make like 7 different videos criticizing him because in general, I think we should be a bit more lenient with comedians than we would be with like political commentators, for example, because a lot of times jokes aren't meant to be taken super literally in the same way that like a political speech would. But because Bill Burr has recently started leaning slightly more left and he started making fun of billionaires more in his comedy, Def Noodles has decided to make 7 different videos accusing him of going woke. Now, my first instinct when I saw this is that Mr. Noodles here might be a little bit jealous of Bill Burr, because when Def Noodles tried to do left-leaning
dude, it's such a low blow, Ryan. Such a low blow. Dude.
comedy, he crashed.
I mean, the guy is like a total failure. Like, he's like, it's normal to have like failures in several places in your life, but like this guy's failed at like almost every single thing he's ever done. Like literally almost everything. Like, he is the definition of a fucking failure. He's actually failing at becoming a MAGA grifter. It's not even working. Nobody likes him.
And burned and became the laughingstock of the internet. But when Bill Burr makes left-leaning jokes in his comedy, people actually find it funny. So Dennis, instead of making all of these videos attacking Bill Burr, maybe it would be better to just try and take a step back and write some better jokes.
Welcome, folks. Today we're witnessing another Hollywood millionaire pretend to be a working class hero, Bill Burr, who caught everyone's attention this week after a bizarre meltdown.
Also, like, his accent, like, there's something about, like, I don't know if it's a speech impediment. Okay, people were telling me the other day I have a speech impediment. They're lying. I think Queenman was one of them, unless I'm confusing him with somebody else. They're lying. But I'm going to make fun of this guy for it anyway. There's something, like, really wrong with his voice now, and I just, like, can't pinpoint, like, what it is. It sounds like he's, like, not producing saliva in his mouth or something, and his tongue doesn't have like a full range of motion.
On his podcast about billionaires, capitalism, and for some...
You have a gigantic spitty lisp. Okay, listen, everybody. Stylo is my biggest supporter. So fucking encouraging.
For some reason, the Gulf of America, because nothing says man of the people like ranting about wealth inequality while sitting on a pile of cash from that little multi-billion-dollar company, you know, Netflix. Very working class, I'm sure.
Oh, you fucking like care about the working class, but you're rich, dude. This is literally he knows how stupid his arguments are. He's doing this to appeal to people's grandmas. It's not even like aimed at like your young conservative audience. I mean, I saw this guy a while ago called like Anti-Profit that was like filling up people's shorts, that was clearly like doing the grift to like appeal to your like young Jordan Peterson fucking watchers. His entire thing is just tailored to old people. I'm convinced. He even like takes the Fox News format. That's probably why he's never gonna grow. Yo, thank you so much for the $1.99, Patrick Starr. Very based. Two $1.99. Thank you so much.
So we're already off.
Whose grandma watches YouTube? Exactly. They get everything he's offering. They get from watching Fox News. They get from watching fucking, I mean, Tucker's off, but they could watch his online show if they want to. They would get from watching like fucking Jesse Waters and like Greg Gutfeld and fucking Laura Ingraham. Like, he's not providing anything that's gonna help him grow.
A great start here. According to Def Noodles, Bill Burr can't possibly support working class people because he's made millions of dollars. Yet apparently Def Noodles thinks that Donald Trump can support working class.
Exactly. They'll go, look, these rich celebrities trying to talk to us about the working class. It's like, look who you fucking put in office.
People, even though he's made billions of dollars. Maybe the fact that Trump has gone bankrupt so many times is why Def Noodles thinks that he can support working class people, because Trump knows what it feels like to lose a shit ton of money. So right off the bat, this is an incredibly stupid argument. Obviously, rich people are less likely to support working class people, but being rich doesn't automatically disqualify.
People use the same disingenuous argument for Hassan, okay? And I hate to bring out the commie speak, but if you're like a socialist or whatever, the notion that it is hypocritical for somebody who is wealthy to support the working class it's just unfounded. Like, so in I think there's a concept, or Marx defined a concept. I don't know if Marx was the first one to define it, but he supported it. You would have what's known as like a class trader. So you would have a class trader of the proletariat, who were like working class people that serve the interests of the bourgeois or bourgeoisie, depending on how you pronounce it. But there are people who are born rich. You can be a rich class trader. You betray your own class for the interests of the working class, and that's what Friedrich Engels was. He was very fucking rich, and he was one of the two essentially founders of communism. Not to say I support that, obviously, but this like common like argument just is like unfounded. like on the left.
You from supporting working class people, which you would think Def Noodles agrees with as a Trump supporter.
Dude, this is the amount of people that are struggling out there because of these fucking billionaires.
Engels, please give me rent money. True, Marx would so based, dude. Marx would like write letter. Whatever you do, do not go to Google and look up Karl Marx letter to LaSalle or whatever the fuck his name is. Do not look that up.
And they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much fucking money in this country, and there's so much work being done, you know? And if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get another fucking
I can agree with that.
Job and still be struggling. It's
Woke.
bad for the country because then the kids don't see their parents and they're not getting the upbringing that they need. It's so.
Not only do the kids not see their parents, because the parents don't have time to see them, the parents can't raise them, and they put them in front of fucking iPads, and that's how you end up with a generation of iPad babies.
These fucking billionaires, they need to be put down, you know, like fucking rabid dogs.
Oh, there
They're
it
like
is.
rabid with fucking greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
Oh, look, big old Billy Burr is back at it again, this time auditioning for a job at the Communist Manifesto Live. He's foaming at the mouth about billionaires like a guy who just discovered Reddit's late-stage capitalism.
Like it's all fucking all of like his entire segments, they're all scripted, and there's nothing wrong with using a script, but it's not his script. I doubt it's his script. I don't know if he had support from AI or he's a writer, but this is just not how he talks.
Page.
Oh no, because Bill Burr thinks that working class people should be able to support.
It's not Asman. It's not even Asman, because Asman is attempting to appeal to a younger demographic. This guy is literally making content for your grandma on YouTube. It's a model that just will never work.
Their families while working a full-time job. He must be a communist. In the past in America, when people could afford to buy a house and live comfortably off of working one full-time job, America must have actually been a communist country. It turns out the Soviet Union actually won the Cold War and made everyone communist, and we just never knew about it. So I highly doubt that Bill Burr is actually a communist. He probably just thinks that we should properly tax billionaires, not that we should have a stateless, classless, moneyless society. But let's see if Def Noodles has an actual argument other than Red Scare bullshit.
Screaming about wealth inequality from the comfort of his multi-million-dollar mansion. You know, the real man of the people energy. But let's break this down, because as always, when Hollywood millionaires try to play economic
it's like they don't realize the fucking they don't realize like the hypocrisy in their own like fucking arguments. Like the guy they put in office, the guy that was like consistently like complaining about like inflation under Biden, literally, not only is he rich, he loves to tell you about it. He loves to put it in your face. He got a fucking airplane, decked it out in gold. His Mar-a-Lago's decked out in gold. His apartment decked in Trump Tower, fucking decked out in gold. And it's like, that's fine. But then why are you all consistently using the argument, oh, you could never say anything in favor of the working class if you're a fucking rich celebrity? Like, this would only be a good argument if Bill Burr had made his money, like being like the CEO of a corporation that was like underpaying its employees and not giving them benefits.
It's like watching a goldfish try to do calculus.
It's like watching goldfish try to do calculus. This is like a joke straight out of the 1950s.
Yes.
Trying to get my damn wife to remember to do the dishes.
Yes. Who is this made for? That's the big. It's not even just that this guy's like a conservative. Who is this made for? Who is this made for? Like, the jokes, the style, everything. It's for boomers.
It's like trying to get a goldfish to do calculus. Dennis, you have already proven just how much funnier you are than Bill Burr. Again, he says that Bill Burr can't possibly be a man of the people because he lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion while simultaneously supporting Trump, who literally coated his entire apartment in gold.
Wait, dude, okay, I swear I didn't pre-watch. I swear I didn't pre-watch. I swear I didn't pre-watch. Dude, literally verbatim what I just fucking said. I did not pre-watch this. Aiden, is your mom woke? Is my mom woke? No, my parents are conservatives. Yeah, I grew up in a predominantly conservative family. Prove you didn't pre-watch it? How do I prove that? Trust me, if I would not watch this in my own time. If we're up to me right now, well, actually, anything I would be watching in my own time would be copyright claimed by watching it. Does your mom like Mexicans? Yes. When I say my mom's a conservative, I mean that in like the lightest sense possible, because she actually doesn't believe in like anything politically. She just supports it because her family does or whatever. And it's like, okay. You all get fed the same talking points? True, true. They paid me off.
You're gonna need to start thinking through the implications of your arguments a bit better here, Dennis.
First, we get the classic poor people suffer because billionaires exist argument. Love that one. It's like blaming bodybuilders for why you're out of shape. Oh, look at all those muscles they've hoarded. No wonder.
Well, it's not just they're billionaires. It's that typically the argument is aimed towards billionaires who are billionaires who have a fuck ton of employees, right? And that's almost all billionaires, and they tend to have employees working in like deplorable conditions or use like predatory practices to raise profit for themselves at the expense of like at the expense of the living quality of like the everyday person.
I can't run a mile.
Dennis, this has to be the stupidest analogy I've ever heard in my entire life. Bodybuilders don't actively work to keep fat people fat in the same way that billionaires work to keep poor people poor. Billionaires choose to pay their workers like shit.
Okay, this is really, it is looking like I'm pre-watching, dude. I gotta not give commentary before he makes his point. It's looking like I'm pre-watching. This is, dude, right? 2 times in a row. 2 times in a row.
Which is why they're poor. Bodybuilders don't choose to keep fat people fat. If there was a bodybuilder that was running around force-feeding fat people to keep them fat, then yeah, I would say he's a piece of shit in the same way that billionaires are.
Bill rants about people working full-time and still struggling to pay rent, which, yeah, sucks. But maybe, just maybe, the real villain isn't the guy running a business, but the government policy strangling the economy like a depressed anaconda.
Oh, the problem isn't billionaires. The problem is that there are too many regulations on businesses.
Oh my.
If we just let businesses do whatever the fuck they want to do.
True, because that worked really well during the fucking Gilded Era. So true. It's like these people are like incapable of like any like historical like analysis. Like, why do you, we did try, like, we were way more, like, free market at one point. We did try, like, a laissez-faire economy. It doesn't work. When there's an incentive for profit, like, people will always prioritize, like, personal benefit over the well-being of, like, the overall economy or, like, individuals. What the fuck are, like, these people, like, they just want to keep doing the same thing and expecting something to change. They're fucking insane.
Then they'll finally pay their workers fairly. The data definitely shows that trickle-down economics has worked out great for Americans ever since Reagan was in office. Removing all government regulations on...
I'm so glad he didn't then just like go, because then it would have been really bad for me if he then just went and was like, yeah, we tried this before in the Gilded Age or whatever the fuck. It would be like, dude, this is, I gotta stop watching this video. Everyone's gonna think I'm pre-watching.
Businesses is just gonna make the problem worse, not better. If America is the richest country on earth, I don't think it's crazy to say that we should tax billionaires enough so that working class people can afford to buy a house or afford health care.
Then we get hit with the Marxist death wish portion of the rant, where Bill casually suggests billionaires should be put down like rabid dogs. Oh, yes, the rational, level-headed take of a totally sane person like Hassan Piker. Imagine if Elon Musk went on a podcast and said, you know who needs to be put down like a rabid dog? Broke people. There'd be congressional hearings before he finished his sentence. But when a million...
This is a comedian. This is not a guy with like direct access to the fucking White House that is like engaging in like governmental oversight. So yeah, obviously there's going to be a higher fucking standard.
Billionaire Hollywood comedian suggests we exterminate successful people. It's just good old working class rage. Weird how that works.
Okay, so your perspective is that Elon Musk saying we should kill poor people would be the same as Bill Burr saying we should kill billionaires. The difference is that poor people are not fucking over billionaires in the same way that billionaires fuck over poor people. Also, there's a bit of a difference between Elon Musk and Bill Burr. One of them is currently an advisor to the government, and the other one...
I can't. I gotta click off. I gotta click off. I gotta click off. It's every point I make, dude. Every point I make, he then follows it up making the same point. It's an easy point, okay? So I get why it's looking like it's... I get it, okay? I get it. Okay, I get it. I get why it looks... I get why it looks like I pre-watched this. It's every point.
One is a comedian. I agree with you, Dennis, that murder is bad. I think we should properly tax billionaires, not just go around slaughtering all of them. But a comedian making an edgy joke is not the same as someone in the government saying that we should exterminate poor people. It's just so funny to me that the same people who have been claiming for years that the left is trying to kill comedy are now trying to kill comedy when the target of a comedian's edgy jokes is billionaires. I wish George Carlin were still alive so Def Noodles could make some videos about how he's also gone woke.
These fucking billionaires, they need to be put down, you know, like fucking rabid dogs.
Oh, there
They're
it
like
is.
rabid with fucking greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
Yeah, it's obviously a fucking like hyperbolic statement. I don't think he would actually advocate for that. Like, but he's gonna take it as literally as possible. The same person from like the anti like cancel culture crowd, because it's never any value conservatives claim to have or any standard or precedent they set. It's never like a universal standard or precedent. They only are like selectively advocating for it in that moment because it's temporarily beneficial for them to advocate for it or against it. Like they'll claim to be against cancel culture. They're actually only against cancel culture when it hurts them. They'll claim to be against government overreach. They're actually totally okay with government overreach when it works in their favor. They don't have any standards.
But here's my favorite part. Bill whines that billionaires are dividing everybody. Really? The guy literally calling for mass extermination is worried about division? That's like Jeffrey
It's so easy to tear down Def Noodle's points. Well, actually, it's fucking terrifying how easy it is because what he's saying is actually not that different from shit like your average mainstream conservative politician is saying.
Or complaining about a bad dinner party.
That's like Jeffrey Dahmer complaining about a bad dinner party. That's like Jim Jones complaining about a bad batch of Kool-Aid. That's like...
It's literally, I don't know, can you play Fox News and not get struck down? It's literally, he's doing like, it's like he's ripping off Gutfeld.
Def Noodles complaining about a bad comedy show. I love these 1950s style zingers. Please keep making them, Dennis. So your argument is that comedians making edgy jokes about billionaires is what really divides people.
Wait, hold on one sec. For those that, why is Jalen DMing me? Okay, I think Jalen like has a crush on me or something. I miss you? Huh? I need help, guys. I need some serious help. Just to really quick, because nobody ever knows what people are complaining. They never know what is... Hold on, where is it? Where the fuck is it? It's up here somewhere. Why can't I find it? I made a diagram for everybody. Dude, all right, we'll keep
People,
playing this.
not the billionaires themselves pumping billions of dollars into the media to keep people arguing about culture war bullshit. Billionaires treat the working class like shit, but then once people get mad at billionaires for treating the working class like shit, they're the ones who are actually causing the division. If we truly want unity in America, then the working class should...
Oh, I got it. So for those of you that don't know what's happening on my screen, quick game explanation. I invented a strategy I call the Paris penis. Okay? So essentially, when you hit Paris, the French surrender. So I'm this diagram kind of explains it. It's worked every time. So I'm recreating that right now. For those of you who don't know. The Paris penis, buddy. See? I even made a diagram. I'm sorry, I was proud.
All come together and collectively suck Jeff Bezos's cock. Maybe I agree with Dennis that Bill Burr's joke was slightly too edgy. Now I hope Dennis will also go and criticize every right-wing comedian who makes edgy jokes so that he can be morally consistent.
And let's not ignore the irony here. Bill is worth millions. He's one real estate deal away from being the guy he's telling you to hate. I guarantee you, if Netflix cut him $1 billion check tomorrow, the only thing he'd be putting down is his activist face. At the end of the day, this is just another Hollywood millionaire LARPing as a Che Guevara revolutionary. He's not mad at billionaires, he's mad he's not one. So Bill, if you really want to redistribute wealth...
Yeah, like the notion of like empathy, and the notion of empathy is like surreal to these people, that somebody can like care about something and it's not in their own like self-interest. Clearly you're just mad that you're not benefiting from this, and they assume that because it's literally how they operate as like people.
Go ahead.
$2 from Calaravetla from California. I'm so proud. The next Tommy K. I just need to quit everything and become a Hoi 4 YouTuber. Jeez with the... Oh wait, no, that's an old donor. Thank you so much for the $2 fucking. Super generous. Wait, I missed some donos. Goat Cato. $5. Oil for your sanity watching this. Well, I appreciate it. It's not going to do me much good. I am losing my mind. Anonymous with the $2. Aiden, have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Not that I know of. I've actually never been to Turkey. Aiden, do you like movies about gladiators? I don't. Thank you so much, guys, for your support.
Go ahead. Sell your mansion, drain your bank account, and live like the actual working class. Oh, wait. That's right. You won't. Because ranting about billionaires is way easier than actually living without all that money.
If you truly believe that working class people deserve a livable wage for working a full-time job, then you should be poor. I am very smart. So Dennis here is making an obvious straw man. Bill Burr does not
He makes a good argument. I don't see what the point is. It's a very good argument.
That billionaires should redistribute all of their wealth. He just thinks that they should give away enough of their wealth so that working class people can live comfortably. And if these billionaires gave away enough of their wealth for working class people to live comfortably, they would still be multimillionaires just like Bill. Like, yeah, maybe Bill Burr could give more money to charity or something. I mean, I don't know how much money he does give to charity, but that won't fix the problem. What will fix the problem is properly taxing billionaires.
True. It's like CV saying to me, you can't care about climate change because you also like engage in like carbon emitting activities. And that's true. On like an individual level, there are things I can do, but the ultimate change is going to be advocating for broad change, like in the form of like regulation of like corporations and net carbon output. So even though even though I have principles and I'm not like personally perfect in adhering to like every aspect of these principles, like that still doesn't like refute my sentiment towards in Confront Deaf Noodles IRL. He's in LA. Maybe I'll have Lumpy Willie drive me out there. You're still live? I've been live for an hour.
It's so stupid when people say, you have a problem with the current system? Then you should give all your money to charity. Even though one multimillionaire giving their money to charity would obviously not fix the problem at all. Now, I don't think this lets rich people off the hook. I do think that rich people should live by their principles. And I think it's cringe when someone like Hassan, for example, flexes his expensive cars that he's bought with the money given to him by his working class audience. But it is incredibly stupid when someone makes a critique of the system for you to respond by saying that they should give all their money to charity when this obviously would not fix the system.
You know, just the fucking epitome of this time right now, like how divisive we are, that like, you know, the Gulf of Mexico is now called the Gulf of America. And
so
people
retarded.
Get excited. Like, how the fuck does that help your wallet? It's
True.
an empty gesture.
True. It's so stupid. No, actually, my life was personally changed. Aiden called Ryan Beard. Aiden, he would deadass bring you on for a debate. He's so desperate these days. I would debate him. Of course I'd debate him. I'd love to debate him. React harder? What do you mean? What do you want me to do? I didn't care about the house, but the Porsche was annoying. I forgot about that, to be fair. Yeah, there's genuine criticism to be made in, like, regards to flexing when you're supposed to be an advocate for the working class. It's, like, completely tasteless. Yeah, it's not even about, like, your self-benefit at that point. It's literally, like, you're just being, like, completely tasteless.
And then it's also like a racist gesture. Like, that's the white guy that's him saying fuck Mexicans without saying it.
Oh, sure.
You know? Like, who has a fucking problem with Mexicans? Like, what is the
True.
real problem? This is just such an ugly fucking time.
What a wuss.
True, like, what the fuck do Mexicans do? What do Mexicans do that makes everybody so mad, man? I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, that just sucks. That sucks.
What a bitch.
People fucking...
You are so
What a bit. Well, he instead of, like, refuting it, it's like, yeah, why are we calling it the Gulf of America? Like, what is that meant to represent? The Gulf of Mexico is totally fine. Why are you calling it the Gulf of America? Obviously, the insinuation is you think it being Mexican is, like, a bad thing, or you think it being the Gulf of America, even though America represents the two continents and, like, the overall region as opposed to the specific country. You think that's, like, a superior I don't fucking know. I don't know what the reasoning for that was. It's like very hey, focus on this change we made that's never gonna change your life. Performative patriotism and shit. Instead of, like, the stuff that actually matters.
right. Bill Burr is such a wuss. You have never been a wuss. These cat ears are extremely alpha.
Bill Burr has reached the tinfoil hat conspiracy stage of his Hollywood meltdown. This time, he's screaming into his microphone about how renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America is somehow both meaningless and a racist dog whistle. Because, you know, in Billy's world, nothing can ever just be stupid or performative. It has to be evil. Now, Bill starts off strong by calling the name change an empty gesture that doesn't help struggling Americans. And for a fleeting second, he's actually right. Then in record speed, he veers into schizophrenic rant mode and decides,
we've come so far, folks. We've come so far. France is mine.
that it's not just...
It's a proven strategy, folks. It's a proven fucking strategy. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, okay? The Paris penis, nobody... I'm telling you, I've invented... It's a game changer, man. It works every time like a fucking charm. A game changer. Every time.
Pointless, but secretly a Klan rally in disguise. That's right. Somehow, changing the name of a body of water is actually code for white people saying, F Mexicans! You have to admire the creativity.
Well, yeah, the context, that's not like a huge leap in logic, like, if we have context as to, like, who Trump is. And he is somebody that, like, has historically, like, insinuated or outright conflated, like, Mexicans with just, like, being bad. Some, I assume, are good people, implying most are not. Like, the good people are the exception.
Most people see an ocean. Bill sees a hate crime.
So you think it's a schizophrenic conspiracy theory that this name change could have possibly been an FU to Mexicans? If tomorrow Lake Michigan was changed to Lake Mexico, people in Michigan would probably not be too happy about that because that body of water has cultural significance to them. In the same way, the people of Mexico are obviously not going to be happy that you came in and changed the name of a body of water that has cultural significance to them. So no, I don't think it's a schizophrenic conspiracy theory that Donald Trump could be saying F you to Mexicans by changing this name. He's been saying F you to basically every single country in the entire world for the last month with his...
Exactly. And then even, like, it's not something that benefits us, and it's done at the expense of, like, foreign relations, right? We're going to have negative foreign relations. We're going to have even more negative sentiment against us because of it. We're, like, appealing to a stereotype, a caricature of what an American is. And we're hurting our world image. I mean, this isn't the thing that really did it. There's several things, but he like the claim, like the talks about Greenland, the changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico. These are not things that benefit us. All they do is hurt our international relations.
tariff bullshit.
Now,
Opinion on this video so far? I mean, it's not like super entertaining, but it's a pretty good summary.
let's get something straight. Who the hell was out there protesting the name Gulf of Mexico in the first place? Did I miss the Justice for Marine Geography movement? Are Mexican fishermen being oppressed by American tide patterns? Of course not. But
But then isn't that a good argument? Why should we change it?
Bill and his Hollywood activist friends need racism to exist everywhere. Otherwise, they might have to talk about real world problems.
What the problem where the president, we're talking about the president. You're talking about a comedian not dealing with real world problems. We're talking about the fucking president of the United States worrying about changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. How is that a real world problem to you, Dennis?
So, ignoring the fact that you're implying that racism isn't a real world problem, you think that Bill Burr hasn't been talking about real world problems? Earlier in this video, when he talked about working class people not being able to afford to pay their bills, you don't think that that's a real world problem? What do you think is a real world problem? The fact that you're banned on Twitter, which you whine about in the banner at the bottom of all of your videos?
Then, in a final stroke of brilliance, Bill declares that people are broke and that this is an ugly time. Oh, you don't say. Then why are you foaming at the mouth about meaningless distractions while creating one in real time? Bill whines that the Gulf of Mexico name change is a waste of energy, then immediately spends...
Do you hear the way he's talking? It's there's like some weird like impediment thing going on. Okay, I'm not you're being ableist. Okay, but there's like some weird like it sounds like his tongue doesn't have a full range of motion. His script is 1000% written by ChatGPT, at least his jokes are. Can we like verify that? Can somebody get the transcript for his videos and put it through like an AI detection? Because it doesn't sound, it sounds like he just like watched, like there's no, with the amount of content he's pumping out and the fact it doesn't sound like him, someone or something is writing his scripts. What was the dono sound? I heard it, but I don't know why it didn't go through. Let me check it out real quick. Navakva, tip 3. Why does this greasy, balding guy say everything with a shit-eating grin? It's so annoying. Who?
The next few minutes on his podcast, treating it like the single greatest moral crisis of our time. Why are people focused on this instead of real issues? Bill, you're the one talking about it. If it's such a stupid, pointless, empty gesture, why are you dedicating a full-scale meltdown to it?
What?
What the fuck are you even talking about? A comedian?
Yeah. Well, he's talking about like a stupid issue that our president decided to devote time to. Yeah. If it's a stupid issue, then why are you talking about the stupid issue that our president focused on? Because the president focused on it and it's a stupid issue.
And complaining for 2 seconds about something dumb that Trump did is a full-scale meltdown, yet you making...
Trump derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome.
7 different videos complaining about him isn't a full-scale meltdown. I can't even track this stupid logic.
This is like a guy setting his house on fire, then yelling at the fire department for wasting time putting it out.
This is like someone setting their house on fire and then yelling at the fire department for wasting time.
Okay, it's good. He picked up on what I picked up, that he talks like an old person.
It out. This is like Deaf Noodles falsely accusing someone of being a pedophile, then yelling at people when they criticize him for it.
If it's such a stupid, pointless, empty gesture, why are you dedicating a full-scale meltdown to it? Maybe, just maybe, because outrage pays your bills.
Oh, and outrage doesn't pay your bills? Well, I guess technically it doesn't because your videos only get 700 views. You're complaining about Bill Burr complaining about something that doesn't matter while you've made multiple videos like Rachel Ziegler's cringeworthy meltdown.
Yeah, like the fucking Little Mermaid was black. Like, yeah, complaining. He's talking about things that don't matter. Meanwhile, like the Little Mermaid is black.
Snow White has TDS.
Snow White, whichever. I don't even. It's the same shit at this point. Like the cycling through every movie where there's a fucking black person and them complaining about it.
Bill Burr defends Rachel Ziegler and woke Snow White. I guess in Deaf Noodle's mind, Trump changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico doesn't matter at all, but Snow White being woke does matter. Just a tip, Dennis, when you are criticizing someone, you need to take a second to think if those criticisms also apply to yourself or apply to Trump, the president who you apparently love now.
Bill gets to play both sides, mocking the people who care about this while still profiting from the controversy himself. He cashes in on the same culture war nonsense he pretends to be above. So congratulations, Bill.
Like he's never, it's like I'm listening to a different person. For a minute I had to like do a double take to make sure like he wasn't AI. Anyone who has any like familiarity with this guy just knows this is not Dennis speaking.
You've officially become the thing you claim to hate. Another overpaid entertainer making money off outrage while pretending to be one of the people. So in case you missed this, folks, Bill is quite literally part of the problem. He's a millionaire cosplaying as a working class hero, screeching about fake oppression while sitting on his multi-million-dollar Netflix couch. And you know he doesn't actually care, because if he did, he'd be ranting about the real reason people are broke. Biden's economic mismanagement, crushing taxes, and big government screw-ups.
I mean, the real reason there's no humility. There's no ability to admit like they can't blame a problem on anything that can't be used to like strengthen their like agenda, right? Less taxation is a big conservative principle. So that's why the economy sucks. We don't like Biden. Well, that's why the economy sucks. There's never like any reasoning behind a bad thing that happened that they'll provide that doesn't already fit like a preconceived like aim that they're trying to achieve. And like admittedly a lot of people do this, but it's like it just shows you like how disingenuous they are. Unfortunate pause. Oh yeah.
Oh, the real problem is Biden's economic mismanagement, even though Biden did one of the best jobs at getting a country.
True. Inflation Reduction Act, so based. Well, Biden caused the inflation. Biden caused the inflation all over the fucking planet. Like the supposed like Biden inflation everybody was talking about was just coincidentally happening as well in like every country on earth.
Out of COVID compared to other countries, but let's just ignore Trump's batshit insane tariffs that instantly tanked the stock market. That is definitely not economic mismanagement. I think me and Bill Burr would probably both agree with you that Biden sucks and he didn't do enough to help working class Americans, because both.
Oh, this Ryan Beard guy sucks. I hate him. Let me guess. He's not a liberal. He's a fucking what is it? A hard lefty, bro. But Biden sucks.
Me and Bill are not afraid to make fun of liberals, but you are afraid.
Biden didn't do anything. Whoever was actually in charge did. He never. I've heard this exact talking point 15,000 fucking times, and every time I hear it, it's like just as stupid as I remember it being. Biden, because Biden delegates tasks to his cabinet, because Biden understands that just because you're president, you're not simultaneously an expert on the economy, agriculture, education, etc., etc. The president, your job is to be a good manager and appoint a good cabinet. Because Biden delegates a task to the cabinet officials that he appointed, that doesn't mean, oh, well, other people were running the country. That's how a fucking cabinet works. Do you think the president manages every single part of the government? Like, does every task in the government? Yes, Biden was responsible for the Inflation Reduction Act. Yes.
To make fun of
it was done under his cabinet that he appointed.
Conservatives like Trump, because for some reason you've decided that the best way to save your dead career is by
Biden didn't know where he was delegating. What do you mean he didn't know where he was delegating? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? People are like, people were signing this behind Biden's back, even though the specific policies we reference Biden on video discussed. So to say he didn't know what was going on, he very clearly did because we have video evidence of him discussing it. He barely knew who he like, I'll admit, he was like senile at like the last year of his fucking term. Okay? Like, there's probably some early stages of like dementia or something, right? But the first like 2-3 years of his term, yeah, he was still like an old fuck, but like he knew what he knew where he was. He knew what he was doing. You could watch the first debate with Trump. He's like very clearly he very clearly is there. His dog bit people. So true. He fell down a lot. Kamala talked funny sometimes. Like, dude, I love that these people have like the same political say that I do.
Trump and billionaire cock. I was gonna go through a couple of his other
They
videos
juiced him for that debate.
criticizing Bill Burr, but I think this video was already long enough. I just find all of this incredibly ironic because the right will never shut up about how the left
Can anybody actually make like a good argument about why Biden shouldn't get like credit for the Inflation Reduction Act? Can anybody make a good argument?
hates comedy, but the second a comedian makes a joke that falls slightly outside of your conservative ideology, you freak the fuck out and you pick apart every word that they say and you try to act like their edgy jokes are meant to be taken completely seriously. It's almost like the right understands that people actually can be influenced by jokes. They just pretend like this isn't the case when right-wing comedians make jokes. I do think that comedy has the ability to spread genuinely bad ideas.
True.
And if you think that Bill Burr is spreading genuinely bad ideas by making edgy jokes about billionaires, then you are free to hold that perspective. But personally, I am not going to get all up in arms when a comedian makes an edgy joke about billionaires because billionaires clearly do fuck over the working class. At the end of the day, I don't even know how much of what Dennis is saying here is actually genuine. Maybe he really is being true to his real opinions, or maybe this is all just a disingenuous grift to make money, or maybe it's somewhere in the middle. I don't know. But all I do know is that if he doesn't stop making all these corny 1950s ass jokes, then I don't think his channel will be growing anytime soon. Watching Def Noodles try to revive his career is like bringing a defibrillator to a cemetery. Watching Def Noodles make jokes is like watching a chicken try to play Beethoven. I wonder if the reason—
Alright, we're done with that. Does this guy always look constipated? Who? He signed it, he gets the credit, doesn't mean he understood it. Do you have any evidence he didn't understand it? I'm sorry, do you have any evidence he didn't understand it? When we literally have him like on video several times discussing the details of it and how it's going to benefit Americans. Can you like what burden would he need to reach for you to like admit that he understood it?
And he calls himself Def Noodles is because his noodle has so much trouble listening.
All right. So with that being said, we have something else to check out real quick. Hold on. That was a good video, though, overall, I'd say. I think that he broke it down pretty well. Not my kind of comedy. I didn't like the dig at Biden. I'm very sensitive to that. But overall, it was actually a good video. And I mean, I would really like someone to investigate where the fuck these like people are popping up from. Because as I said before, I think Dennis is being paid off. But that's... Biden had pre-written questions and answers. Trump uses a teleprompter. Did you know that? Did you know that Trump actually reads off of a teleprompter? If you guys are going to trigger Aiden, at least get in a call. Nobody will ever call in to talk to me about Biden. It's never happening. He actually was a pretty okay president. Do you have a strong love for Biden, Aiden? I don't think he was like the best president ever, but I think he was like pretty good, and I think that people don't have like a lot of legitimate reasons for not liking him. With all things considered, with the economy he inherited, the state of the country when he became president, etc., I think Biden did a pretty good job, and I think that history will be very kind to him. Like, the people like to act like he was this... The fact that Trump is, like, still talking about him is, like, crazy, bruh. Who do you think was the best American president? It's probably FDR. People be like, well, he did Japanese internment. Yeah, and I don't support that. But, like, everything else he did was, like, super based. Social Security, the New Deal, Social Security, GI Bill, Lend-Lease, because he couldn't justify getting us involved in the Second World War till Pearl Harbor, getting us out of the Great Depression. I mean, I think Trump continually saying Biden was the worst president ever will damage Biden's reputation. No, actually, I think that's going to help Biden, because when Trump is like, when his second term is a complete disaster, which it's already proving to be, and I think we're like not even in the thick of it. We're not in the thick of it yet. It will actually look really good. That Trump didn't like him. Biden, in my opinion, will be looked at super favorably by history when Trump becomes like a complete and utter failure, which he's gonna be. Just sing thick of it. I think I'll pass. So, I don't know if we checked this out yesterday. We got beautiful new pictures of Manshi. Stunning. Stunning. Boblox went after fucking Tippy, making jokes about Tipster being pansexual, joking that he was like woke to a dominantly right-wing audience that Boblox knowingly like entertained because they were on his side at that point in time. Now, you know, he's non-binary, and he is completely, he's acting like the SS officer that just got caught in Argentina. I was just following orders. I was a chicken farmer. Like, that's Bobby right now. He's like, I was just doing bully streams. I didn't believe any of these things. He literally has always appealed to a right-wing audience, and now that they're not on his side, he's going to play victim and try to win favor with the lefties who want nothing to do with him. I just saw that. Okay, I want to see. Where's the first tweet? Boblox has me blocked, too. So, like, it's funny. Boblox will never talk to me on stream because he's just come up with so many lies that I wouldn't even, like, go debate bro on him because it would look super cringe because he would not be able to stand up for himself. I'd just have a normal conversation. I'd be able to pick apart, like, every fucking lie he's ever told. The way Nicholas Diorio keeps lying about me to keep dragging my reputation down lower in every regard is getting exhausting to deal with. This is such crybaby mentality, because I actually was not gonna cover Josh anymore after a while. When I found out about like the fucking house shit or whatever, all that stuff, it was like, you know, before anyone else leaked it, I was not going to leak it because it's like, he's dead. This guy's like in a ditch. Okay, like talk about beating a dead horse. Okay, you're not beating it. It's like shooting a dead horse with a fucking RPG, and then shooting at the horse's like pulps of flesh on the ground, and you've now pulled out like a fucking minigun, and you're like pulverizing the pulps of flesh into a bloody fucking stew. Okay, it's not just beating a dead horse anymore. That's what it would be like to continue covering him. But then he goes and lies about Nick being comment cop. He actively provokes, actively shakes the hornet's nest, and then people have weeks of coverage on him again. Nick and most of the people that I knew that I was on a tipster bully arc and making fun of him for any little reason because I thought it was super funny. Any direct gender-related shots I made were exclusively at... What is this excuse? The criticism is, only a few years ago, you were making fun of people for, like, being LGBTQ or whatever. And he's like, oh, well, actually, I was only doing that to one person, actually. Okay? How does that invalidate the criticism? Actually, I was only doing that to the person that I was bullying. Okay, so the thing that we just said that you did? The thing that we just described? Yeah. Yes, that's what you're being accused of. Thank you for admitting to it. Let me explain. I need to explain. Dude, he's explaining. He should make a channel. What do you guys think about a channel called... I'm thinking about it. I think this is like a genius business opportunity. It's going to be called Manshi Explains. And he could just put out all of his 8,000 explanations to his previous explanations explaining something that he was explaining something about. Manshi Explains. I can see it now, dude. I can see it now. Nick knows this. Yes, Nick knows that you took gender-related shots at Tipster, which is the thing he's mocking. Yes. Many of our current/former mutuals knew, and even my stream audience understood this. Understood that you were taking gender-related shots at Tipster? Yeah, the thing that Nick's calling you out on. Here's a clip from a main channel video I did with our mutual, Willie Mack. That was posted almost a year prior to that Tipster bully tweet. Nick knows that I'm not a fake ally and is actively lying to you.
I recently made a video talking about, like, the pro-trans Keemstar stuff that was happening on Twitter and the quarter's reaction to it. And I basically made it vocal that, like, I'm pro-trans or whatever. And I unironically lost, like, 500 subs. And people in the comments are like, they're actually men. It's a mental disease. I'm like...
I mean, yeah, you're always gonna get that on the internet.
I guess. It's actually such a shame, because I feel like being transphobic is just as bad as being, like, racist. Like, I don't know. It should be, like, really socially unacceptable, but...
I think it's, like...
Wow, very brave take. Original brave take. But it's, like, just because you're saying the thing doesn't mean you're then all of a sudden... Well, I said I like trans people, so now I'm, like, exempt for, like, making fun of people for being transgender or gay. It's like, even though you've been on record saying that you're supportive of these people, that doesn't invalidate the fact that you decided to take shots at somebody over their sexuality, which if anything just proves like how inconsistent and spineless you are. You'll go with the flow if it's benefiting you in that moment.
Pretty like generational, honestly.
Yeah.
With it, you know, like what every generation like has its battle.
I am just so tired of like this whole like generational, okay, this generation we're gonna accept black people, the next one we're gonna accept fucking gay people, then we're gonna accept trans people, then we're gonna accept... It's like, how many years until everyone's just seen as equal? Like, it's not that hard. I don't know.
I mean, I get you, but I mean, look, it's weird because it's just like how it is though, you know? Like in a way it's kind of a good thing because we're always like progressing, I guess, but...
I guess, but it feels like we should have been done progressing.
At what point
like,
do we go
ago.
too far is the real question, Bill Black.
Too far.
What?
Alright.
So what's like an example of too far?
Like furries, right? I mean...
What does that have to... Huh? Huh? What? I don't understand how we've gotten into furries now. What do you mean?
I think furries should be accepted.
That's the thing, man. I actually had a coworker that was a furry, and I initially like...
Accepted as in like allowed to do their sexual degenerate shit? Yes, okay. You want to do what you want to do in your bedroom. If it doesn't involve a child or a fucking animal or a non-consenting person, then go do it in the bedroom, okay? I don't care if you like getting shit on and then set on fire, okay? I don't care. The problem is, it's not even necessarily a problem. It's just like disgusting when your fetish becomes your whole like personality, and like you're having like furry conventions and like fucking, and people, I know there are some people who partake in it not for non-sexual reasons, but like you're having like furry events and fucking I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have the same reaction to that as I would have to any other guy that would like come up to me and tell me what he fucks to or what he jerks it to. Like, it's a little strange. I don't want to know, but gay marriage is a slippery slope. They might start marrying dogs, like marrying dogs to each other. Why don't we do that, actually? I'm okay. I'm totally okay with that. If my dog wants to get married to another dog, so fucking, I support that wholeheartedly.
You know, fucked with him and gave him shit or whatever, but he was a great guy. Like, I fucking love the guy. I didn't give a shit by the end, bro.
Yeah, like, furry isn't inherently
fuck.
bad. I mean, if it turns into bestiality or something like that, yeah, but usually it doesn't. And there's always
Yeah,
gonna be,
yeah,
like,
but
really weirdos
When
in
is
community.
bestiality gonna be okay, though, you know?
Oh my god. Hopefully
What if,
never.
is that too far?
That is too
Where do
far.
we draw the line, Bo Blacks, of equality? When do we say we're not
As
equal
long
anymore?
as it doesn't, like...
Murderers? Do we accept murderers next, Bo
Okay,
Blacks?
this is retarded.
As long as it doesn't hurt anybody.
Why is Boblex seriously engaging with this now?
Right? So it's like, if you're attracted sexually to, like, anthropomorphic animals and you draw them and you, like, fuck people in fur...
Look, guys, I've always been an ally.
...or whatever, that's not bad. That's all consensual, right? It only becomes bad if, like, an innocent animal...
Okay, I don't care about this conversation anymore. Just saw the second part of this. This is a super fucking psycho conclusion to come to. Malicious actor, scorched earth, and forgets ethics and morals? When have I ever compromised my morals to maliciously go after someone who mildly Dude, you literally just admitted, yes, I was an ally. We have a statement here saying trans people ever are valid, and then you admit, I was actually taking shots at this one specific person because I was bullying him, aka making an exception to my morals. You just described that in the tweet above. I've never compromised my morals over someone who's inconvenienced me. I'm pro LGBTQ+, unless I don't like you in that moment and you're tipster. Which you've just admitted to. You've just described what you just admitted to. Sounds like projection with what you've been doing to me for almost a year now on your YouTube and Twitter, because I mildly inconvenienced you. Mildly inconvenienced him. True. Okay, tipster is like totally spineless. The biggest mistake of like kicking kicking him out of the house. Okay, the biggest mistake is that they like welcome tipster with open arms. He's still like super cringe. Okay, but what did he actually do? Lied to several people about having a medical diagnosis that he never received to sympathy bait and get them to bend to his will, delete tweets about him that he didn't like. Despite the fact that he's the guy that archives tweets for a living, copyright struck a transformative video, and to this and archival content, despite having an archive channel himself, and to this day still continues to make excuses for and defend it. Lied about Diorio in regards to him running the Comic Cop account without any proof, recorded lyrics without him knowing, and then played victim. When I recorded him and knew he was recording, lied about me, lied about the contents of discussions he's had with me. What else? I mean, the list fucking goes, it mostly comes down to like piles upon piles of fucking lies and like super manipulative behavior. What the fuck? What? The fuck was that? Why did you... That was like a jump scare, dude. Why the fuck would you need to... You could have said all that without the picture. Thanks, I respect you too, and yeah, I'm LGBTQ myself. This is literally the most recent photo of my camera roll. Trying to paint me as a fake ally over one joke is such a stretch. Wait, hold on. Why are you saving these pictures to your camera roll? Huh? Dude, what the fuck? I want to see the replies. Bro, no shot. He is apparently reading the tweets, though, which is what everybody wanted him to do. It's unfortunate, though, because I don't think he's a house to live in anymore, but it's a bit too late.
Continuing right from where we left.
So, like, he's only doing this after he lost the house. And he's also, for some reason, not putting his recent videos on his homepage. Like, I have to scroll down to find it. Aiden, do you still have a crappy keyboard like 2 months later? Yes. Wait, I didn't mean to click live. Alright, I know this wasn't a 6-hour stream, like promised. I'll probably be live tomorrow. I know I'm very lazy. Seems like I'm very lazy tonight, but I am pretty fucking tired. I mean, I guess I could keep going for a little bit, but I don't really have anything else to cover. I went for 6 hours yesterday, okay? I did 6 hours yesterday. Like 1 hour, we're actually at 2 hours, that's okay. Stay up? I don't hate you, I don't hate you, I've just... It's been a mix of juggling 2 different lives. My fucking sleep schedule is ass. And like, I would rather not stream at all than sit here and like be tired and not have anything to say. I mean, I can keep going, but it's not gonna be anything you're gonna care about. Or I'm not gonna be saying a whole lot. It's not. Now it's not excuses, bro. I'm not making excuses. We need to lock you in a stream cage. True. You're just gonna continue to play Hoi 4 anyway? Why not just stream? Because you're not gonna want to watch me just play this game. And when I play that game, it doesn't involve talking. Bro, you didn't sleep because you were addicted to I'm not addicted to Hoi 4. That's such a ridiculous and absurd accusation. I don't know what you're talking about. What the fuck, chat? Stop guilt tripping. True. I like this Missy Elliott person. Very based. I guess we could do like a 15-minute end stream segment where I just talk to chat like last night. I actually kind of like that. So we could go for like another 15 minutes. What's on everybody's mind? How's it going, people? This is the most Aiden's read chat in ages. No, I mean, but I know they're guilt, but they are right, okay? They are right. I am, like, relative to everybody else, I'm, like, a pretty lazy streamer. At the beginning, I kind of set expectations going live for, like, fucking sometimes 10 hours almost every day. To be fair, like, I was on break when that was going on. I don't do this full time, but I'm making good money doing it. I do kind of owe you guys. But yeah, was Queeman telling the truth about your DMs? Are you still friends with Liam? I don't know if we were ever really friends. We were just like acquaintances, and he called me off stream like a few times, but recently, I don't think we are. I wouldn't say that we, like, he hasn't like answered my calls or anything, so I don't think he's very happy with my coverage of him, to be honest. You guys were friends? I mean, kinda, like, it's like, I consider you a friend if you, depending on how much I talk to you and how much you know about me. He didn't know a whole lot about me, on like a personal level, and we didn't really talk a whole lot off stream. So I'd consider more a business associate, like an acquaintance, I'd say. That Boblax photo scarred me? Yeah, it scarred me too. He's like an acquaintance. Aiden, it seems like you play down the friendship you had with Liam/Lyrics, like you guys were on-stream friends too. If we're only talking on stream, like we have like a buddy-buddy relationship for our audiences. But you have to realize, like, this isn't like my real life. So you guys get like a kind of a window into a portion of my life, but I'm not like talking to them on like a regular basis off stream. I wouldn't really consider that like a friendship. You know what I mean? Sure, on stream buddies. Yeah, I guess. That's not like a friend. Like, I don't know. I have no reason to downplay it. Why would I downplay it? He hasn't like done anything like super wrong. Like I just I would have no reason to downplay it. Like in terms, like we were cool. We were on good terms. He was one of the cooler people to me in the people I met online. Aiden, would you ever do a 2v2 debate with Queeman against Nick and Augie, but Israel versus Palestine and Hassan being anti-Semitic? Yes. Yes, easy. Easy, bro. Easy. I would even do a 1v2. But nobody involved would ever do that, so. Loam? True, dude. Where's Loam? Men the best friend bridge. He doesn't answer my calls. Actually, we could check out. Apparently, Parry had a conversation. Wait, why did I look up just Purple Parry Gaming? Apparently, Parry had a conversation with Liam Donovan's mod. Purple Parry Gaming. Let's check this out real quick, I guess. When was this? 12 hours ago.
Hear you.
All right. How old are you?
20.
I don't believe you. Send me your ID.
Probably should have asked that before you got them in call.
Hold on. I have to find my wallet. I'm literally 20.
Yeah.
I promise. I've drank liquor before.
I drank liquor
Isn't the
before.
age for that 21? I mean,
Yeah.
you're
What?
admitting to breaking the law, so it sounds like you'd lie to the law. to
I'm
drink
turning
alcohol.
21 soon. I'm turning 21 and freaking.
But it's like you're saying you drank alcohol, like that
Comforter.
proves that you're like over 18. But you could just, if you're already breaking the law, so why would that help? Why would that make me think that anything doesn't make any sense?
Bruh. I was born in September 25th, 2004. Do
You
the
didn't
math.
have to say that.
If you know how to do math.
You didn't have to say that on the fucking live stream, man. Why did you do that?
I don't care if people know my birthday. Maybe they'll send me shit.
So we're off to a great start. He's asking for ID. She's already read off her birthday and doxed herself.
Okay,
I'm just
but I want to
kidding.
see it because I think you're just made up a date.
Like, I guess your birthday isn't a dox. Bad choice of words.
Hold on.
Just take like a picture.
I don't know if my cam. I don't really know how to use Discord, not gonna lie. I'm new to this shit.
Yeah, because you're a child. Because you're literally a child. That's why. You're saying, oh,
No,
Tiki, I'm
because
so, I don't know how to
No.
touch button. Oh, me so small iPad baby. And so you're obviously, you're acting.
Like, your birthday's okay, your birthday's a component of your docs. Like, you shouldn't give it out, ideally, because, like, in your overall docs, you can give enough pieces of information where someone can put it all together to get the full thing, and that is a very significant piece. Your birthday narrows you down. We already know this person's American. Just by virtue of having their birthday, that narrows it down even further.
Acting like a child. You're giving excuses a child would. And now you're like, oh, I'm actually 30 years old. Like, as if, man. Show me your fucking
Here's
ID.
my ID. I am, bitch. Are you looking?
What? Oh. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you showing me your ID, man? Don't do that.
You told me to.
We weren't actually supposed to say.
Dude, look how easily influenced the Liam Donovan fans are. This is insane. This is just insanity.
Send it to me. You realize I'm gonna like dox you now, right? I'm gonna like dox you. You realize that?
Oh, this is so unhinged.
I just send that to my Discord. They all have your ID now. They're gonna like harass you. What are you doing?
That's
You
cool.
shouldn't just send random fucking streamers your fucking ID. What the fuck is your problem?
Everything. What's your problem? You're
Well, my
writing
problem-
fan fiction about all of the SpongeBob characters fucking each other.
Not all of them. No, it's just the fucking Mr. Krabs and Plankton and Karen, and then SpongeBob's actually like an insult.
Wow, that makes it so much better. I'm
It
so
does because
sorry.
it changes things from being like a fucking weird sexual BDSM thing into being more focused on like the sort of character,
I
you know,
never said
analyzing
BDSM, you did.
Well, the stories has BDSM, so I don't know why you're pretending I'm like introducing. Obviously, it has BDSM. You fucking
Alright,
get it.
this is so boring.
Anyway, the point is I'm analyzing sort of character dynamics of these characters based on them, you know, sort of being in these particular ruts and how they would develop over time. That's the idea of the.
Dude, I don't know. I've given this message before, but apparently a lot of people need this. Don't give out your fucking ID on the internet, okay? And I'm giving you this message because I ranted about this a few streams ago, and I shit you not, the same day I'm on stream ranting about, hey, like there's certain piece of information you shouldn't give out online. That same day somebody sends me a picture of their fucking father. I'm not kidding.
The characters.
How about you prove that you're not a minor? Because that sounds like something like a 16-year-old kid would write when they just find Wattpad.
True.
Well, I wrote it like 5 years ago, so if I was 16 then, I would be an adult now. But I'm not going to give you my age. Anyway, it's because I'm not like a retard like you.
Well,
Who just
you're
sends
like-
people their ID
you're
like
50?
retards. Maybe I am. Who gives a fuck?
50?
Point being, Marceline
Husky.
or Strawberry Girl or whatever the fuck. Why are you such like a loser? Why are you such a loser? Like you spend
That's
all
such
your
a
day.
literal insult is, oh my god, you're a loser. Wow, that's
No, it's
so
not an insult. It's like an
constructive.
analysis. It's not. I'm gonna be constructive. Okay. You spend
You're
all your
the one that's
time.
making so many streams about Loam.
About
Yeah.
Why
Dude,
what does that have to do?
these people have already like known this guy. They've only known him for like a few weeks, or is it 2 months at this? I don't even remember. And they already have like little nicknames for him and shit. You have too much of a parasocial relationship with your audience if they have a. I'm not okay. That's obviously an exaggeration, but Loam, dude, I feel so fucking uncomfortable.
Well, I'm not a loser. It's based. I'm
Loam.
holding him accountable. I'm holding him accountable. Do you not understand
No,
this?
you're being social. It's in your name. Harry Social.
Perry owned him.
Harry Social.
True.
Can you show me your ripe cunt? Can you show me your ripe cunt?
I'm not showing you anything.
Can
ho.
you switch on? Can you switch on your face?
Dude, everyone's gonna be like, based Parry, whatever. He's never getting out of the hood if he like does this on. I'm sorry, dude. You're never making it out of the hood if you do this on stream. I'd like be surprised if you keep your fucking channel. Sure, jokingly hype him up, but yeah, like sexually harassing people on stream is probably like not gonna help you grow a whole lot. Listen, Den, what?
Cam and take your clothes off one by one and then stab yourself with a knife until blood comes out.
This guy also, even if you want him to be, you realize he's not gonna have a channel, right?
Nah, I have that planned for Wednesday, and it's not Wednesday yet.
Can you fucking
You're
break
so longhoused. It's okay. True.
your body by throwing yourself off the roof?
I've tried. I followed a window when I was 3. It didn't do anything.
Okay, you win. Fine, you won. Whatever.
See, I always win. Did you see the video of me versus Cafe? You should have known.
I
By
don't
the
know
way,
what
you
that
should
is.
listen to Broken Side.
They suck.
Every Cafe?
No, the Broken Side.
Broken Side doesn't suck. They're great.
Wait, you talk to every cafe?
Yeah, he's one of the mods.
Can you tell him to give me
Lone's
money?
chat.
Can you tell him to give me money?
I can try.
You go up to him and be like, Perry has my ID and he'll dox me unless you give him $200.
I'll see what I can do.
Right. Well, this is Marceline. I just worry because like you're acting like a minor. You do realize this, right? Like you being obsessive not obsessive, but you spending a lot of time in Liam's Discord and the way you
True.
talk in chat. It's just very worrying.
True.
So
He makes a good point.
I'm not a minor.
right, but you seem like you're a very isolated person. If this is the kind of stuff that you're like doing with your time, I figure you're unemployed, right?
He makes a good point.
Maybe.
Right.
I
So
mean, finding a job could be hard sometimes.
well, what's like your major?
Oh, that's such
What's like your
cope.
major or degree?
I didn't go to college.
So you're
I
in
want
high
to
school.
do music.
You want to do music. That
Not in
explains why
high
you
school.
watch Liam Donovan,
Yeah.
I guess. But do you have any like active things you're working on, or are you just like planning on it eventually at some point?
Well, I'm working on getting a job. It's just difficult because I have like medical stuff coming up. So it's like it's hard to get hired when you're like, oh,
Why is
but
she
I
even in
have
this
these
call,
dates where I'm
entertaining this
gonna be having this
conversation?
happening, and it's like,
Are you like pregnant?
What the
Or are you
fuck?
like chronically
No.
ill? Or, like
nah, I
chronically
just
ill?
need a surgery. It's not anything.
Well, I mean,
super
couldn't
crazy.
you just get hired and then tell them when it comes up? I mean, you don't have to go to the fucking job place and be like, "Hey, I'm going to be." You can just, you can just get the job.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Have you ever
I'm
had a job
little
before?
slow.
Have you had a job before?
Nope.
So I mean, if the
I've had-
surgery was the issue, I feel like it would be like a recent thing that you don't have a job. Seems like you'd never have had a job.
Yeah, I've had mental stuff to where I couldn't get one in the past.
Shouldn't have told him that.
Right. So you like self-harm, basically?
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Eating disorder.
Oh, that's like boring, I guess. Whatever.
I
But
mean,
it seems to me like
I'm not telling you all the other shit because you'll accuse me of being somebody else.
I'll accuse you of being someone else.
Yeah. I'm making a
Okay.
joke about the other strawberry girl bitch. Well, I don't wanna call
Oh,
her
I think
bitch
that's like a
because
guy
yeah.
anyway. I mean, it might be a woman. It has like a guy profile
I don't
picture.
know.
Maybe it's like a band day. Like, I'm just confused. Okay, but like, don't you think that the fact that you spend because it's not like you're, I mean, obviously you like doing these animations and whatever, but it seems to me like
Yeah.
you have other like if you were do you have like are you working on music now?
Yeah. Like I'm working on writing stuff and I'm just like researching and everything. And then I'm gonna get FL. I have like an interview for a job in a few days. So that's good. And then after I get FL, then I'm going to start working on making music and then just release stuff whenever I get it done.
Right. Why don't you just
And
pirate it?
merch. Huh?
You just pirate it.
Pirate music?
No,
Oh,
just pirate
pirate
FL
FL?
Studio. Yeah, it's like easy.
I don't know how to pirate stuff, but I can
Oh my
Google it.
God.
It's like you're telling me that you're like, are you even passionate about music? Because it's like you're saying, oh, I'm working on it. I'm going to work on it eventually. You said you like research.
How do you not know how to pirate?
Me like you're listening to music, Or what does that mean?
No, I'm learning how to like I'm watching tutorials on like how to use FL so I know before I get in there like what to click on, you know?
Right, but you
'Cause,
can
like, I like
also just
Hypersoft and
get
stuff,
FL
so
and then learn to use it. It seems like you're more interested in what in thinking about getting good at music than actually doing music stuff. That's what it feels like.
well I have to get FL first.
Right, and you
which
could
is
hire
why
that,
I
and, or
have
you could use like.
All right, I
it
can't
just-
anymore, dude. I can't. All right, we'll do 10 more minutes of just talking to chat. I can't pretend to be. My social battery isn't drained. I just my fucking sleep is so screwed up sometimes that it gets like very hard to be like an entertaining streamer. Are you a pirate, Aiden? I used to. Somali is coming for you. Dude, I was so supportive to this guy. I platformed him, his story, and then he just lied. CPCI just lied to me about everything. Boo? Boo. I can't, dude. I can't anymore. I'm sorry. That shit was boring as fuck. It was. I had nothing to say. I would just be stealing his content. Alright, any questions? Thoughts? You have my undivided attention, chat, for the next, like, 10 or so minutes. So, ask away. Alright? What do you want to know? Anything? He didn't lie? You're soulless? I have a soul. I do have a soul. It's great. It's a big soul, man. Call CPCA. Maybe tomorrow, dude. Maybe tomorrow. Okay. You're gonna get a ban from chat, lil bro. Where did the President Sunday debate VOD go, Aiden? Debate VOD with who? Did I debate with President Sunday? Or I debated him on his stream, not my stream. You're not gonna find it on my channel because I wasn't streaming when I spoke to him. Was I? Unless I'm forgetting something. Which I don't think I am. You could be self-taught, but if you should just stream on the Boston Tea Party. That unironically is an interesting part. Listen, Tay, you're a very, 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 very supportive watcher, and I mean this with all due respect. That is the most boring part of history, like, ever. Like, you could not have chose a more boring event from history. That is, like, so boring. Like, it's unreal how, like, insanely boring that is. You're hiding it? Answer his question? Answer whose question? Aiden, do you still think you need more time to get experience with Hoi 4? Yes, obviously. I need to be, like, I'm probably going to be... Dude, hopefully, I'm going to get burnt out of this game eventually. I get into one game, I play only that game for months, and then don't play it again for a very long time. So, I'll be out of this phase soon. I just don't know when that is. 7K, what was his question? Oh, that earlier question? No, I'm not answering that. What's your favorite smell? That's a strange question. My favorite smell? I don't know. The good kinds? My favorite smell. Not sleeping because of the looming body disposal and cleanup job? Yes, dude. He's in the closet. When's the Bugatti? When is the war with Diorio? I joke about it, dude. I know a lot of you hate the guy. I still do like Nick, and I know that's not what you all want to hear, but I'm not audience captured, so I will tell you things, even if they're hard for you to hear or not. I'm not one of those people where if I have a disagreement with you, I like want you gone in a ditch, okay? So I do like your self-reporting is non-human right now. Is this a good run right now, Aiden? I'm not sure. I think so. I mean, we already got France and Spain, and I think it's a good run. I like the smell of Burger King from a block away. Keep hiding from Fatty. Nick wouldn't be as charitable. Yeah, obviously he wouldn't. He is like a pretty spiteful person. But I don't use people's own standards when judging them. I use my standards. I'm only using their standards or the way they act if I'm trying to call out some form of hypocrisy. Fatty's time is coming. I mean, I don't know why he's going so hard on like the Ethan stuff. I don't know. I mean, it is getting it. He is like the biggest in the game right now. Okay, the biggest in the game. Very poor choice of words, but he is like the biggest in the game at the moment. And I assume it's probably because of this arc he's been on. Hold on. Rip Ethan Ralph? What happened to Ethan Ralph? His words carry a lot of weight. True. Just like his body. I miss old Nick when he was more ruthless with his words. I guess. I mean, he's like very cocky. And I think that's what maybe causes people to prey on his... People just typically don't like cockiness. And I think that's what probably contributes to rooting on this guy's downfall. But I think he has been right on like most things I've heard him discuss. So what happened to the Ralph email, bro? He's been radio silent for like 2 days. No. Is he really that online that like if he's silent for 2 days, it's like a newsworthy deal? Like, I didn't realize. Literally, yes. We need to find out who's been hiding the concept of a caloric deficit from Nick. Dude, did you guys know Nicholas Dioria was fat? True story, by the way. Cal, I'm not doing call-ins right now. I'm about to end stream. I know that he's in weight. Oh my god. Oh my god. You realize I can see the same Discord that you can see, like I can see as well. Did you know that? Did you know that? Believe it or not, like I actually still have my eyesight. Didn't Nick say he was losing weight like 3 years ago? He probably thought he would. Weight loss is not an easy thing. I mean, it's easy when you actually start or get the hang of it, but it's easy to slip up depending on why you're overweight to begin with. I mean, I was pretty overweight for like a year. And then it took me probably 2 attempts before I really finally... Check topic suggestions. Okay, that's horrifying. Just don't eat. That's like a very bad way to lose weight because that's like the least sustainable way. Because when you do start eating, you're going to start retaining weight like crazy. And that's just like a really good way to encourage like the development of an eating disorder. So yes, not eating is actually a horrible way to lose weight. It does not work in the long run. Eating just enough for like your daily caloric needs and adding in like exercise and then eating around that too, at like a little bit of a deficit, helps you lose weight. Take meth. I'm considering it. I'm heavily considering it. Yeah. All right. Why is your shadow always weird? What shadow? My shadow? Like on my chair? What do you mean my shadow? Aiden can be known as Captain Cool. Oh, like Pinkman. Okay, what? Cal, what's up?
Hello?
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 I'm from Somalia.
Thank you for calling in.
No.
Okay, I'm probably gonna end stream, guys. I'm fucking tired. I'll see you tomorrow, probably. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye-bye.